Oh my god, it is such a gorgeous day. It's a perfect day to go to the cabin, spend some time, clean up, check on the place. Let's go.
He's like,
Look at all the special fish. Oh, the fish so cute. What happened to all your hair?
getting ready for the summer.
You got all the supplies?
The important ones.
You're so happy. Where are you? Kala's back in his kingdom. Squirrels, you better watch out. Walking through the door over here, we have a little bit of a surprise, but it really shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone because this is the kind of thing that we do. What do we have here, Aldo?
I don't know. One of our many mistakes.
Mistakes. So we have a bike that lives in our living room. I actually tried filming an explanation of why we bought the bike last spring. So let's just go back to last spring, Dash, and she's gonna explain it better. Hi. If you've known us for a while now, you know that we make some questionable choices and some questionable purchases. Like, for example, the Comanche, the GTJ, and the RV. To add to that list, we now have this. So, what you're looking at here is a 2021 Royal Enfield Himalayan. A little backstory, motorcycles are huge in India, and when Aldo and I were dating and we got married, that's all we did. We rode around on motorcycles, and there was no Jeeps, there was no car, there was no Comanche. It was just a Royal Enfield 350, and we'd go everywhere we could. We were weekend warriors. We would go wherever we could with that bike. We loved it and we had a lot of fun. Then when we moved to Canada, we always had our eye out for a bike. We were always tempted by the idea because it was so familiar to us, much more familiar than cars. But then it never made sense because of the insurance cost, and you can only use it a few months a year. It just wasn't a viable option for us. So we never bought one and we never considered it. Circle back to fall of 2022 when we saw this bike show up on Facebook Marketplace, especially so close to where we live. We just could not resist. Honestly, I feel like if it was any other bike, we might have passed on it, but because it was this bike and it's made in India and we're familiar with it, we just couldn't resist. Because typically you would never see these bikes in the East Coast. Like, there aren't too many of them. It's mostly famous in the city and mostly in the West Coast in the US. But it was so close to where we lived, so we had to go check it out. Had to go check it out is a lie, because we went there with the intention of buying it regardless. We bought it, and it's actually a really funny story because we picked up the bike and we were so excited to ride it and the prospects that we could see, and we were like, okay, summer, and I think when we bought the bike we still had a few good days of fall left, so we were very excited for it. But when we went into the what's the place where you access DOT? Yeah.
MOT, MTO. I don't know.
When we went into the place where they give you your license, they said that they're not issuing any motorcycle licenses because they're closed for the season. Because the second the snow hits the ground, they close for the season, especially for motorbikes. So unfortunately, we had to wait all of winter and spring. I think they opened back up only in April. So we had to wait all that time to finally be able to get our licenses. We still haven't taken our road test or anything yet, but the it is possible, but it was really funny because we bought the bike and we couldn't even ride it. So we loaded it up on our friend's truck and we bought it here and we parked it in our living room basically for all of winter, and it really did make a really nice Christmas ornament because we put some lights on it and it looked great in the living room, I would say. We're still unsure of what the plan here is exactly. Have we given up on Jeep life entirely? Probably not. Will we be doing some motorcycle traveling? Yes, for sure. This bike is a bit of an off-road and an on-road bike, so we are thrilled of the opportunities that it gives us. With a bike you can go more places, I suppose. The long-term plan is for Aldo and I both to have our own bikes, and then we put Kala in the back. But for now, the short-term goal is just to be able to ride it legally on the road, aka get our licenses. Right now, we're just practicing, getting good at it, getting used to handling it in off-road situations, because we can ride on tar road no problem, but off-road it's still a bit tricky, like especially for me. Aldo's good at it, I think. I'm still struggling on gravel and my turnings aren't that great, so we're still practicing. We're gonna get there. We're very excited, and you should be too for this next chapter. Sorry I yelled, but you should be too for this next chapter. It's just exciting. Should we go for a ride? You wanna go? Where to go? So this is going to be kind of the weirdest dinner or meal you've ever seen on this channel. I don't have a lot of supplies here because I moved most of it back to the other house. But before I left, I did grab these sausages. They're actually doner sausages, so they've got a little bit of spice and they're really nice. So I'm going to try to cook these. And I also grabbed just a random assortment of things. I grabbed some broccoli because I was like, oh, we need some vegetable. And I have some bread, just some old bread. So I'm going to try to make a meal out of it. But as I was trying to cook up the sausages, I realized that we ran out of gas. And we do have another tank. We did think about that. But the other tank is in the RV. And we don't have the keys to the RV. So I'm going to try to cook these up on the stove, on the wood stove, and we'll see how it goes.